Hello and welcome back to that 90s Premier League podcast. I believe today is episode 12, so I'm going to give a warm Subbuteo welcome to Jonesy, first of all.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, mate. Good. I was going to say, looking forward to this one.
Honestly, I feel like a kid at Christmas today, and no pressure on you, Ross, but we obviously have a guest with us today.
Yes.
Ross, Subbuteo Brummy, introduce yourself, mate. How you doing?
I'm not too bad, guys. I'm really honoured and appreciate to be invited to your podcast.
Hey, the honour is all ours.
Yeah, mate.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. And the listeners, if you haven't checked out obviously Subbuteo Brummy's Instagram page, you are missing out.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're going to talk about it, aren't we? We're going to get into everything.
Jonesy, let's just tease the listeners with what's on store for today's show, mate.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into everything Subbuteo, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about with Subbuteo, and I know, Ross, we'll let you loose very shortly. But honestly, mate, yeah, from the reasons why me and Jonesy set this pod up, and Jonesy, I'm sure you will agree, chap, that nostalgia is the main pinpoint focus of reason why we're doing this. And it's such a huge community in terms of being able to talk to people about football stickers, cards, shirts, Subbuteo. And this is why we love what we do, because we're able to speak to geniuses like yourselves that just have that fascination and that hobby that is just incredible. So we are very much looking forward to this.
Absolutely.
Jonesy, where do we start, my friend?
What are we all wearing?
Oh, what are we wearing? Right.
Ross, do you want to go first, mate? What are you wearing, mate?
So the 95-96/97 Aston Villa home shirt that we won League Cup in 96.
Yeah.
There'll be a few people that will remind us that it's the last time Villa won a major trophy. And I know it's
forget about that, Ross. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, mate.
We've won a few trophies, but
exactly.
Is it a long time ago? But I have noticed, I think we're very much Blackburn Rovers, Alan Shearer aficionados, because I can see.
I know.
Wearing one Woody.
Jones worked out this well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
This has worked out well.
It's fine. But yeah, I used to, I mean, we'll get onto it, but Alan Shearer was a big part of growing up in the 90s. That he was the reason I got into football.
Mr. 90s, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
I mean, the shirt you're wearing, Ross, to me screams Milosevic and Dwight York.
Yes. Yeah.
Jonesy, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely the same as well. I actually love that shirt. I rate the Reebok era. Going from Asics as well to the Reebok. What did you think about that? Were you a Asics fan?
I've got a couple of them actually. I love it's a bit of a Marmite one, the green, black and red one. It's such a
that's a podcast favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
If anything screams 90s, it's that shirt.
Yeah.
And Villa had some success in that with the home shirt as well. Again, winning the League Cup in it, and we had some really cult hero figures, the likes of Dean Saunders, wearing it, and it was during the big Rod Atkinson era. So the 90s was a really good era for Villa. We had a few ones after. So again, that's why from my point of view, so nostalgic about that whole decade. To be fair.
What I'm really pleased with, though, from a Aston Villa perspective, I'm sure this echoes amongst a lot of the fans, is that there has been a bit more of a resurgence in the effort in their kits over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, the club as a whole, since we've got promoted back since 2019, it's really transcended. You might have seen one or two things I've posted this year. This has been my favourite season as a Villa fan. The memories we've had are just undeniable. Beating Bayern Munich, the win against PSG. I mean, even though we went out, we still beat them at home. The atmosphere was absolutely incredible. We've had some amazing memories. I went to Bruges, did an away trip there as well. So that was my first.
Brilliant.
Which was amazing. But you're right, guys. The effort on the kits now with Adidas is chalk and cheese, because we've had we had the days of Macron.
Yeah.
There was stick it in the washing machine, it's ruined. Whereas with the Adidas ones, they last a lot longer. And and the deal with Adidas as well, you've probably seen it this week. We've just released the away strip.
Yeah,
never released the kit like at the back end of the season. I can't remember for
like before a season finishes as well.
And to wear it, I think we're going to wear it at Old Trafford on Sunday.
Oh, wow!
I cannot recall that at all. And the home kit this season is my favourite. I think it's just classic. But apparently the one for next season is paying homage to the Holt End. And there's a rumour that it might have, on our 90s shirts, we've got these graphics. There might be a Holt End graphic on it.
Oh, brilliant.
So that'd be really if that's the case.
I personally, I don't know what you think, Jonesy, but I think this season's kits from a Villa perspective were probably up there with the top of the Premier League this year.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. I was a fan of them. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that is lovely stuff, mate. Jonesy, what are you wearing, mate?
Well, if you haven't noticed, we're the box, aren't we? We're Beardsley and you're Stuart Ripley.
Yeah. That was the whole point, Ross. We wanted to kind of sandwich you in a Subbuteo box today because we had the other option, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which was my first set, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
We try and plan it, don't we, Woody? We try and plan it.
We do.
Yeah. So I'm wearing the Essex Newcastle 1993 to 95 home shirt, McLuhan's Lager. I've got the Star one at the back there, but yeah, going off the box, Peter Beardsley. What about you, Woody?
Well, I'm McEwen's Lager as well, mate. So I mean, this is becoming a little bit spooky, Jonesy. It's like we plan this every week, right?
We're after sponsorship.
Essex and McEwen's Lager. I'm wearing the Blackburn. Yeah. What is it? Blackburn 94, 95, isn't it?
96, yeah.
But then I've probably got the 96 one because it's got the Champions patch underneath. So, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, Jonesy is an employee of Foot Locker, and I'm trying to look my best in my Alan Shearer-esque shirt. But yeah, these are Premier League shirts in their prime. If you are not watching YouTube, get on it. Come on.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go.
Right.
All right.
What's next, mate?
I think we're going to go to Stat of the Week.
Where has that music come from?
I do a lot of digging, mate, to get these.
Is that fanfare? It is, isn't it? Oh yeah, God. Right. Well, that's given me a little bit of a build-up for Stat of the Week. Thank you very much.
That's all right, mate.
Right. It's a Subbuteo episode, so it would be remiss of me to even forget anything Subbuteo related in this stat. So I've thoroughly enjoyed researching Subbuteo this week, and one of my favourite stats is a chap called Andrea, and I'm going to try and pronounce his name right, Picalugia. Forgive me if I'm completely wrong, Ross, but obviously in 1970, he was a 15-year-old Subbuteo player that insured his Subbuteo finger for £25,000. Am I right?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Now, what I'm amazed at is how serious, and we're going to get onto this in a great detail later, how serious this game has become, or was as well. Another one of my, because he's deemed as one of the greatest Subbuteo players of all time. Now, personally, as a 10-year-old, I thought that was me. I'm disheartened. I'm disheartened to see my name is not on Google. Andrea's is. But obviously there is also a chap called Peter Sakowski, who in 1970 was the first World Cup winner, representing Germany. Is that right?
You've caught me off guard there.
No.
Now, this is where you're going to learn about the Subbuteo community now.
Yeah.
There's communities within communities.
Oh, God.
So you're going to have the players.
Yeah.
The community in itself.
Yeah.
You're going to have the collectors, like myself.
Yeah.
You got the people that are just generally all rounded into it. So I've, from a collector's point of view, all day, you could name more. You could say yourself, Woody, saying you were like the champion last year, and I'd be like, I'll take
keep that low. Yeah, don't
But I'm going to go along with it and say, I think.
So, On my stat of the week, Ross, are we saying there is gang warfare between Subbuteo collectors, Subbuteo players within the community?
Oh, there's a bit of a... It goes back a decade, Subbuteo. So there's a generation that obviously grew up with it when it first came out, and then obviously started playing the game. There's a bit of a snobbery with like the older generation. I'll probably get a load of this now, but it is pretty well known. Whereas where they think like there's the old rules style of play, like the old rules, for instance, and then there's a new rules style of play. And then there's like the newer generation. I mean, I'll say newer generation. I mean, we're now the 30s, aren't we? Mid-30s. So it's there's definitely not a divide, but there's more interest in the collector side from collectors, and then there's more interest from a playing side. So it's whatever floats that person's boat, really. My point of view is just literally the collection. The kits, the whole
Jonesy, I thought we had a world exclusive there, mate. I thought we could literally, send this into CNN.
It's interesting because there's so many in particular since 2020 and since lockdown and stuff. A load of the communities grew, and I got into, and we'll probably go into it shortly, but I got into it more during that era because there was nothing. You were stuck in your house. You went into your loft, and you had to look at all your collectibles. So that's how it snowballed again for me. But then there's obviously Facebook groups that have been developed off the back of it. And you see sometimes that people have got a difference of opinion, and it's good. It's good. It's
healthy at times.
Yes. It's not a one size fits all. People have got opinions on the way that the game should be playing and stuff. I won't get into that because I don't have a Scooby. I stick to the other collectors really, and just that stuff and be like, I love that. I want that. Trade that or whatever.
Well, hold that thought whilst Jonesy holds the back page.
All right, hold the back page. I could not find anything Subbuteo related on the back page, unfortunately, but let's park it for now and let's have a look at May the 24th, 1996. We all have Alan Shearer, don't we? Well, May the 24th, 1996, 939 minutes, no goals. So England will stumble into Euro 96 with their top striker rated the worst in European football. So Alan Shearer's agony now stretches through an incredible 939 minutes of goalless frustration. He failed to score against China here in Beijing, and this Peking duck makes it 12 internationals in 21 months since he last celebrated an England goal. Do you remember this going into Euro 96? Shearer's duck?
I think I do. Yeah, that is absolute blasphemy in terms of how they're slating him there, Ross, isn't it?
I was going to say, like, the press just have sorry.
It's incredible because I think even Alan Shearer has admitted that Terry Venables said to him prior to the tournament, he said, no matter what, even if you don't score up until the tournament, you're the number one striker. So you still, and what an absolute piece of man.
Yeah, I love Eltel. I mean, that's incredible. What
I love it on that back page as well. There's just a picture of Terry Venables talking to Alan Shearer, and it says Venables stood consoling Shearer. They're just having a chat.
Yeah.
He paid off in the end, though, didn't it?
Absolutely. So they were just going through. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. I was going to say, when was his first goal? It was a Switzerland penalty.
It was,
So right. His last goal before that was September 1994 at Wembley against USA. That was the last time he scored. So it's 15 hours and 39 minutes.
It's somebody. I don't think he was coming back from an injury in the first season, wasn't he? 92, 93. Yeah, he I think he was playing, weren't he? So it might like he was out injured.
That is pretty bad, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
for his run that he had.
So much stick.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember it, Jonesy, but like now you say it in minutes, hours, and then you mentioned the season. Like, it's a bit of a problem.
So that run surpassed the previous worst run, which was by Paul Mariner from June 1982 to October 1983. So yeah, sure, 939 minutes without a goal for England. There you go. So that was on this day.
Only needed a bit of faith from Venables, though, and it still shone through. That's like you said, Ross, that's class man management, though, isn't it? Right.
It's a shame it didn't result in us winning it at the end, but
that's the problem. Yeah. No, you're right. Right. Jonesy, thank you for that, mate. Have you got any more?
No, that's it. That's it. Just going through it. Yeah. I mean, going through that. So that was pretty much a run up to Euro 96. The press were just hammering him. Like they were just giving him a hard time. So, yeah, I just thought, we love Shearer. So let's just talk about him.
What I've found from like your holder back pages every week, mate, like the more I've obviously I've matured now. I don't look at headlines as, the shocking kind of thing. I just look at the fact of how the British media just like hounded players, managers, like after every game or every moment. It's such a negative space, wasn't it?
It's brutal. Like going through some of them. I'm like, nah.
It's amazing. I like that one.
Try and pick the nice ones.
It'll be good if you do.
We're a positive podcast, aren't we?
We are.
Excellent. Right. Cool. Let's get into it.
Let's get into Subbuteo. Right. Ross, just give us a brief overview, mate, of firstly, how you were introduced into the world of Subbuteo and kind of what kind of kick-started what you do. Because obviously you've briefly touched on COVID, which is probably the foundation of many of our collections. But just tell the listeners, etc., how you got into it first, mate.
So it was I think it was back in 96, Christmas 96. My dad got me for Christmas, and this is still the original, that bad boy.
Oh, yes. We were just talking about that trophy as well.
Yeah. I know the trophy's the best part of it. Literally is the best thing of it. But yeah, I got that Christmas Day, and that was it. I was hooked. In the 90s. To a point there when my dad was a massive influence on me. It got me into supporting the Villa. Football, obviously a big part of that. And that's when I started to collect the teams and stuff. So you then end up going to shops like BT's and get the teams.
Did you just say BT's?
BT's.
That's where
you go from.
Yes. BT's was my main supplier of Subbuteo.
I can't remember. I don't think we had them in Wales.
Did you not, James? Who was your supplier, Jamesy? Who was your dealer?
Toys R Us, I think.
Toys R Us. Jeffrey, all under one roof. Right, okay.
Another one where you could get them all from. But that's how it was. And then started getting more of the sets of the teams, the accessories. One thing I never had, which I really wanted, and I got, and it's only took for me to be an adult to actually get one. Started to get some of these grandstands. So that was the dream.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. The collective groan of the grandstand. Oh,
yes.
But when you're a kid, you've obviously get £2 a week pocket money, so you can't afford that sort of thing.
How much would they have been, Ross, those grandstands? Can you remember?
God, the grandstands themselves, I'm not too sure. I've got a feeling about £12.99, maybe something like that. I mean, the teams were like £7-8. Might not have even been too much for different than that. Now, if you do try and get them off eBay, it's completely chalk and cheese. Anything, literally anything from one that's like broken to bits to like a pristine.
Yeah. Did they ever do themed stands, or was it just a kind of template of?
So you could see up there, that was the traditional green grandstand.
Yeah.
So that was the one that was released through the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And as we entered the 90s, and I've got it somewhere, I would do. Here it is. So this is one of my favourite sets. You can see.
That.
So Rude Hullet against the USSR.
Oh, that's the Euro 88 one, isn't it?
In the final. I mean, that. Guys, you as shirt collectors know just how much that shirt's worth.
It's going to say, listeners, that there's going to be a lot of groaning and moaning, and so you have to watch it visually because some of the things we're going to be showing.
Listen to it after 9 p.m.
Yes.
It's a good job my missus is at work because she'd be doing. Well, this was the grandstand edition, and then you can see the red and blue.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
So that's like the 90s variation. So there was only ever 2 grandstand versions during those eras. The red and blue one's really nice. It's smart, but everyone, I think, can agree that's just vintage.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I can remember as a kid, obviously, I didn't have the stands. I used to have the classic green picket fences with the sponsors.
Yes. Yeah.
I had that as well, yeah.
With like the little brown like things you used to slot them in.
Yeah.
I loved those because I felt like that was part of my stadium. But then me and Jonesy have spoken to a few people off air before we recorded this. And a lot of my background of stadiums turned into me building little ones out of Lego.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to do little corner stands and little ones out of that. But like a few of the lads said that I spoke to, that you'd run out of the same colour brick. So you would obviously have like a few red rows and then a blue row and then a yellow row. And yeah, I think it was Subbuteo for me kind of stirred the creative imagination. If you couldn't afford to get that grandstand with Red Hullet on, like what could you do? Like what could you then make to still make it that kind of...
I'll tell you what and it's a good point, that is, mate. And I'm thinking back now, I would use what you did with the fence, but use those Corinthian Pro Stars as like spectators, like around it.
Yes.
You do get creative.
Yeah.
You might have for whatever random reason, some little cars around it, whatever. But your childhood imagination just takes you to just far.
Incredible, isn't it?
But it's because, I mean, what child could get a grandstand and have a stadium at that time? You couldn't. That was the dream. So that's the beauty now of being
every boy's dream, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Jonesy, over to you, mate.
Yeah. So do you remember what? So that was your first set. Do you remember what teams? What were your first teams?
So the first ones I got the England, the '96 shirt, obviously Euro '96 one. There was a kit for that. Aston Villa, obviously, and then I think it was Arsenal. I think it was because it would have been 1996. So it would have been that JVC shirt. Obviously, they had it through that whole era. But I've got a couple of Arsenal sets. Man United, obviously, on the pegs, it was all Man United. So I had quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And then
That's all I remember.
And I think there was a few more international teams as well. But during that period, there was Woody's going to like this. So you'd get the Royal Premier League. So there's your Sheffield Wednesday one.
Is that 95, 96, that one?
It is, correct.
Yeah. I could just tell.
Good eyesight, mate.
These ones. So these were the first iterations, which I think the box is nice on the smaller.
Yeah, I've got a box here that I want to compare because I've got the Sheffield Wednesday 93, 94 here, right? So
yeah, you've got the one,
the
Jensen.
Yeah. So I think, if I'm completely honest, I think your box you've just showed there with the Premier League emblem is way more creative and interesting, isn't it, Jonesy?
That's what caught my eye as a kid, that Premier League badge.
Yeah, it just separated the clubs and the leagues, didn't it, a bit more? Did they ever do themed ones for other leagues, Ross?
For leagues? No.
I never. Because it was like Premier League just kind of did like a sponsorship thing with them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Around 90s. Yeah. 95, 96. I think I sent you an advert, Woody, on WhatsApp when we were, and then I just remember, going into the shop and seeing I think the Premier League badge made it more, I want this. It's Premier League.
Yeah.
Like the boxes as well. The Leeds Liverpool one and Blackburn Newcastle. That box, I need that. I need that edition. And the Premier League trophy as well. Far out.
Yeah.
Does that come with a Premier League trophy, Ross? The one you've got in the Liverpool Leeds one?
Yeah. Each and the other one with. This is where your planning has done brilliant because with your shirts, So that one as well.
Well done, Jonesy. Look at that.
I prefer this one. I think this.
I used to love it.
Can
like
you
the balls as well?
Yeah. Do you have
balls?
Do you have the ball there, Ross?
I can get it open, lads.
Oh, he's opening a box, right, Jonesy? Oh,
still the corner flags as well.
Yes.
You need some Barry White music to be playing over this now, Jonesy. He's opening the box. Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You haven't just broken a seal for us live on air, though, have you, Ross?
No.
Oh.
So it came with.
Look at that. It's all set up.
Yeah. So it had the plastic covering.
That's taking me back now. Look at that.
As with any Subbuteo set, it's traditional red and blue. And then here we go. So I'll put it to camera. So there's the monitor.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot your one, buddy.
Yeah. Does that disappoint you as a collector and obviously as a kid? When you had the picture, and Jonesy, this is a question for you too. When you looked at the box, right, and you had the Stuart Ripley and the Beardsley, were you expecting it to be Blackburn and Newcastle within the box, or were you disappointed with it being red and blue teams?
God, I can't remember.
This sounds when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I first got into football. I only thought because Pro Action Football. Don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
On the box, you had the red and blue teams.
Yeah.
I literally thought that was it. I thought there was only 2 teams, red and blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was any more. And Euro '96 come along and it's like, oh, okay, this opened up the whole thing. That time, no, but that's probably a ploy from Subbuteo to get you to buy the teams.
Well, do you think that it was either a ploy to do it, or do you think it was a missed opportunity, as in selling the pitch, the ball, and the cup separately in a pack, and then making the person then buy the teams they wanted?
Interestingly, the set I've just showed you, they've also released a smaller version of that, but without the teams, without the pitch, and without the goals. So they were just selling. As you can see there, I can do it. Just about see it. So they got the trophy balls and the referees and the corner flags. That's what they sold. So they actually sold that as a separate set in itself.
I thought they did, you know.
And I've been trying to get a set. I nearly bought one a few weeks ago. It was that good, I just didn't get round to it. But yeah,
there you go, Jonesy.
Yeah,
it's the Prem trophy.
Tell you what, I was so happy when I had that as a kid.
I think it's just the best. It's just attention to detail, and then
look at
those corner flags. Oh,
ref in the actual Premier League.
I can still feel that. Do you know what I mean? As a kid, like when you're holding up that corner flag, I just remember how delicate like it was to sort of hold and put in the corner, and
so easy.
Wow,
so easy to play.
This is beautiful.
They were delicate, but like the set you showed with the gents on the front, that was that was box art was used for years and years and years, and then it transitioned to obviously the Premier League one, and it was they very much kept that design just without the badge on. Then that was it. Then until the end of the 90s.
Jonesy, have you got any questions, mate, on that off the back of that?
Oh, just as I said, I just remember the Premier League ones. Do you have the World Cup '94 one?
I don't. You know, that's one set I haven't got. I haven't got the '94, but I have.
Because the boxers used to get me in that World Cup. Have you ever seen the World Cup '94 one? Oh, you haven't got it, have you, Woody?
I have, yeah.
Oh, of course he has. Oh, jeez, here we go.
Give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Oh, the boxes. That's what caught my eye. Especially going in that Premier League era as well. I just had to have it.
God, there was some down there as well. This is when it starts getting messy now.
Oh, sorry. I should have had this out only because I thought this would probably have been one you had, but that one.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yes. Does that come with a World Cup? Come with a World Cup, or?
Let's have a look. No, it comes with. So
it's the USA, isn't it? I think that's
Yeah, so the USA 93 kit, which is the 3-stripe over the shoulder, and then the Germany 92, which is obviously the one on the front here.
Yes. Yeah.
Excuse the rattling. Obviously, I've just literally pulled out of everything just to get you. But oh my God, do you know what? Now I didn't actually, and this isn't arrogance, right? I bought this from a pure collector's perspective, as in to just look at it, right? I've opened the box before and I've had a look, but now I'm talking to you on this, right? I've got like the goals and the nets, the balls as well, like the USA 94 ball.
Set it up, mate. Set it up on the pod. No.
Yeah, I'll come back in a minute and I'll have a quick game and then I'll come back.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because there was a Euro 96 one as well, wasn't there?
There was indeed.
Ross, have you got that? Because I've got it too, but I don't want to break my back.
Oh, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah, look at that. See,
and that was very similar to your 94 one, Woody.
The boxes are what dragged me in. The box out. I mean, I'm a sucker.
It's just.
I remember seeing that in a Toys R Us, and I was just like, I don't care. I've already got one. I want that because of the box.
Yes.
Well, the Italian 91's beautiful as well, Ross, isn't it? Have you?
I've got a couple of them. So we've got. God, this is like it's planned, isn't it? So there we
go.
Yeah,
purely because of the logo at the bottom. Literally.
Yeah, 100%.
It's still open.
Look at that.
So there's that one, but I've got, which was a recommission of the 1986 World Cup, but they literally just resold it again for Italia 90, but then just put a sticker on it. So it's from 80 Brazil.
We have got filth live on air here, Jonesy. This is
the sticker on. So they were clever because obviously they've got load to get rid of. So they just thought, right, we use the same, but we'll just put a sticker on it. And
but
it worked.
But what I love about these though is that, because again, when we just said about the Premier League bumper pack, we'll call it, that obviously had red and blue teams. But these ones, this has got Germany and USA.
Yeah.
So that's incredible.
That Grand Slam one I showed you earlier has 3 teams in it. It's got
has it?
I think it's got Germany, top of my head, Holland. I think it might be Italy. I could be wrong. 3 teams.
Brilliant.
So they did do it. But I think the more basic set. I'll show you an example actually. Like, this is just a smaller one, but I don't think.
That ranges.
Yeah, who's that on the front?
So I thought that was Gaza. It's not. Rangers fan.
Was that Laudrup?
No.
No.
Who is that?
I had to Google it before. I wasn't sure who it was because I literally, when I bought it, I thought, oh, it's Gaza, but no, it's not. I don't know who it is.
That might be Ian Durant. Maybe it looks a little bit like him from a distance, but again, I haven't got my monocle in, so I can't see from there.
Put it to your listeners if they can help.
So from a collector's angle, what's the most kind of rare one to get?
Ooh, yes,
probably good question.
Good question.
So the rarest, the most valuable set you can get is not from the 90s. It's from the 70s. It's called a Munich set. It's when it was the 1994 World Cup. You should see it. It's an incredible piece of kit. To be fair, the box work and the artwork is just phenomenal. So different, but they can fetch anything. I know a few people that one person actually got offered one for 400 quid, and he nearly bought it. They're so valuable, even to a point where even if the boxes are a bit battered and stuff, people will still pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds for them.
Wow.
You've got that was a really valuable set, and then there's it's really obscure, but there's like off the top of my head, it's like a massive box that contains Subbuteo football, rugby, cricket. It's like all different sports.
Yeah. I was gonna say I saw recently. Yeah, I didn't realize there was a Subbuteo rugby.
Yeah.
So how on earth do you play that?
I don't know you start with it. But that can fetch like up to 500 quid and even more.
Wow.
Are we talking little boxes there, Ross, with the Bayern Munich? So we're talking like a little.
Sorry,
box like that.
Yeah, proper sets.
Oh, right.
Munich one. It was called Munich, but it was a World Cup edition. It was a World Cup set.
Okay, got you. Okay,
so that's very valuable. This is madness, but one of the most valuable items you can get is, like the little replica trophies we were just talking about the Premier League.
Yeah.
The League Cup.
I was just going to ask you that question.
Valuable.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one, no.
So they were, that can fetch anything from 100 quid onwards.
A little mini thing.
What had happened there was they released them for a few years and then they discontinued them.
Right.
And you could still get your World Cup, your replica World Cups. There was like Subbuteo's own World Cup trophy as well. It was quite garish. But you could get FA Cups.
I remember having the FA Cup.
Yeah, I used to have the FA Cup. Yeah.
The European Cup. But the League Cup, It's so sought after, and I still ain't got one yet. Because you're literally looking at £100 minimum.
So off the back of Jonesy's question, so thank you for that, Ross. Off the back of Jonesy's one, is there a single box of team, like a team one, that's incredibly rare or sought after in a particular kit?
So the kit, the team you showed there is called a lightweight. So they're very, very nimble, and they came started to be introduced from the late 70s.
Yeah.
Onwards. Prior to that, you had Subbuteo teams that were called heavyweights, and those were the ones that were painted literally by hand. So they're a lot heavier, easier to play with because
like that
they fly across. That's still a lightweight.
Is that lightweight? Is it? Okay.
Wow.
That's Germany, Italian 90. That one.
So this is
for anyone watching.
We're going back a few decades, but I'll pick up anything like that. For instance, it's got.
Oh no God!
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Someone's put the stickers on, but I saw it on eBay. I just picked it up because that's class.
Yeah.
But these ones, they're a lot. You can tell they're a bit bigger.
Oh, I could see. Yeah.
They're hand painted. So the heavyweights are the more valuable ones. The problem is, people can take them. That's the thing. So someone could paint a rare team, for instance, onto like this Newcastle one, for instance, and try and sell it. So you could never really determine whether it's real or not. I'm sure people far more qualified than me would be able to suss it. But the heavyweights are the one where the money is, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
There we go.
I mean, I've got some beautiful little bits of history off of this for listeners. Because Jonesy, have you got any bits of history of Subbuteo that you want to cover off before I rant on for a sec?
No, probably what you've got as well. What have you got? Did you just look back?
Yeah, because obviously I know, and some of you that have probably got the internet and whatever that can look at why Subbuteo was created and who by. So obviously it was created by a chap called Peter Adolf. Who was formerly in the RAF during World War II, left to start up his own hobby business, which obviously the name of Subbuteo comes from Falco Subbuteo. Is that right, Ross?
So Subbuteo, if I'm right, Subbuteo is the Latin word for hobby.
Hobby. So it was originally then, and then it went to the bird of prey, which was Eurasian hobby. And that's what Falco Subbuteo stands for. Apparently,
your
I've got that as well.
Is that the wrong way around?
To be honest, I think
no, that's right.
Yeah. Long story short, it means hobby. Yeah,
it means hobby. Okay. Is that right or wrong? What I just said there? Sorry.
I think you've got the same as me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's come. Yeah.
He originally set it up as New Footy,
right.
wasn't it?
Yes, correct.
In 1928.
Yeah.
And obviously, what I love about the originals were they were based on like heavy lead bases.
Yes.
With like the little cardboard figurines, so they weren't actual 3D figures at that point, Ross, were they?
Correct.
And I read a brief story about it basing the base of the Subbuteo off of his mum's coat buttons.
Yes.
Which is incredible.
So they were they were cardboard. I've got one actually.
Have you?
I should dig it out really because you're talking about it.
Oh, this is fascinating.
It is, isn't it? Honestly, I said to you before, Jonesy, before we started recording, that it's been a real kind of like heartwarming bit of research into this because I was kind of like, So yeah, Ross, what are you holding up there, mate?
So this is a set from the 50s, and then they released basically what you've got as they've said, guys, is they look like that. So they were just cardboard.
Wow.
Plastic, I think.
But were they designed to flick Subbuteo in those days, or was it a bit more of a shuffle with your finger?
It's still flick, but they're very
nice. That, wouldn't it? After a while,
classic football there, like with the brown ball.
Wow.
But you couldn't get a pitch. So what?
That was a Malteser.
I was going to say brown ball or Rebel.
It was but they didn't come with pitches. So what he advertised, he said you'd get like an army blanket and a piece of chalk, and you draw out on the army blanket the pitch with the piece of chalk, and that's how it started.
That's
so it's
awesome,
crazy, isn't it? It's crazy how it started, but the sets back to that era go for silly money.
Do they?
Yeah.
Jonesy, have you got any history on Subbuteo, mate?
No, I just got from. So obviously there was a recession in the 1980s, wasn't it? And then they ended up selling the company or they forced to sell the rights to the toy company Waddington's to keep the game going.
Yeah.
So then they updated the range, including more polished grandstands. Yeah.
So obviously, because I know that he was based around Tunbridge Wells.
Yes.
And a bit of history that I read up, which I absolutely adore, okay, is that he hired housewives to individually paint the teams.
Yes.
So drivers would take sacks of players, drop them off at houses, tell them what teams they had to paint, and then just left it with them, and then came back after so many days and collected each team. But they said synonymously that a lot of houses in Tunbridge Wells, on their TVs were lines of Subbuteo players that were just drying from like the day's paint. And I absolutely love that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, I mean, because the detail, and you can see from looking at the ones you've shown, Ross, and the ones that I've got here, the attention to detail on the kits. So you've got the complex kits from the bruised banana to the striped kits. Like, there was so much intricate detail in hand painting in them, wasn't there?
There was, absolutely. And that's partly the reason then they transitioned to the lightweights, because then it's the kits were just like what's the word for it? Like machine printed onto the bodies instead.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why I like the light. It might be just being biased because as it bought them in the 90s, but I prefer the lightweights because you can get the sponsors on them, you can see the badge and that kind of thing, whereas you couldn't do that if you were doing them hand painted. I mean, people now can. There's some very, very talented people that can actually paint those.
I was going to say, did you ever attempt to paint your own?
Oh no, I wouldn't. Sure, I painted my house, Jonesy. DIY. I'd have no on a little figurine, but I mean, that again. I was talking about communities within communities. That's another community. People actually paint the kits and would sell them or keep them as like souvenirs.
What do you know? Bespoke Subbuteo, Ross?
As in, like the difference between
the bespoke Subbuteo, as in Instagram chap, because I think he paints his own.
Oh, that's where I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know there are a few others that I've seen, but honestly, the attention to detail and the steady hand. I mean, I'm sure these guys could be heart surgeons, let alone Subbuteo painters.
Very talented people.
I mean, I can imagine like people painting Corinthians.
Andy, the Corinthian guy that I spoke to before, is incredible. But yeah, there are they're so talented, some people out there that do this.
And that's what makes it great, isn't it? Because it's keeping, because you can't buy these. We can get Subbuteo now, obviously, in some form, but those Corinthians, like how they can just adapt them, and it's keeping the tradition going, and it's keeping nostalgia going, and credit to them, I think.
I was going to ask, the modern day Subbuteo, what's the collection like now? Is there much around, or?
There is.
Because I only see just the obviously the box in like the local local shop, but I don't see the teams or anything around these.
So days. You can get you can still get teams, but it would be like your generics, blues, reds, whites. So you can get them, so not necessarily with the club.
Do they have a deal with the Premier League these days, or not really?
No. It's very Subbuteo's marketing. It's not been great, and it's great for a long time. Where it's to a point where, like, if you're very invested in it, you want to see when something's being released. Sometimes they'll just drop an ad saying, "Oh, we're releasing this new deluxe pitch," or "Oh, we're dropping this new set," and then there's no build up to it. You don't know anything.
Wow.
They just drop it on like an Instagram post or something.
They used to be beautiful, like catalogs and the adverts, didn't they?
Yeah, you'd have all that. You just wouldn't know now. I mean, clubs have had their own deals with Subbuteo. Like they've got one, like Inter Milan, Liverpool, Arsenal, Marseille. So the clubs have had him.
Yeah,
but then released, and then that's it. You don't see anything of them again, really.
It's quite an upsetting decline, really, because I've read here that Subbuteo sales were at 150,000 in 1994, which dropped to 3,000 sales in 2002. To then only 500 sets being sold in 2003.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
And that's when production ultimately stopped for the classic Subbuteo that we look at now, which is heartbreaking, really, to think about how much effort and attention to detail and promise that the brand started with.
Yeah.
To then, it almost seems, because I know that there is a very popular women's set of Subbuteo that was released in 2018 that was huge, which featured the England teams and the games. Do you have that?
I don't.
I saw the other day, though, that there's so they actually sold at one point a streaker and police
Is that right?
chasing after the streaker. Yeah. So it was like it wasn't a naked, like, it was just a sort of like beige painted figure with policemen chasing after it. And I just think all of that stuff, I mean, I know that's not to play with, is it? But like a setup, if you had like your own little mock picture, like, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh.
I just overheard the streaker one.
Yeah. Do you have that? Or have you seen it?
It was. God, it's one I should have in the collection because it's so different.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
It wouldn't get away with it now. The most complex thing they brought out, which was quite controversial recently, was they brought out a VAR set.
Is that right? What?
What?
Well, this is one probably the best thing they brought out quite recently. There you go.
Oh, it's actually
Wow.
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was quite controversial at the time because people were like, VAR was still quite new.
The game's gone.
Yeah.
Every week, Ross, me and Jonesy have a good old man rant. And it's like, game's gone. Game's gone. You know.
We're going to bring out a T-shirt with the game's gone.
Yeah, we are. Easy. Can I talk about, on the back of this VAR, before we go into a little bit more about kind of listeners' memories and what you associate, the accessories were top notch, weren't they, with the kits? So I've got the scoreboard.
Yes.
Thank you to Francisco, by the way. I've got to mention, because he actually sent me this with a shirt for free, which was incredibly generous of him. But I can remember the little slots of paper that you had to slot in the scoreboard.
Yes.
Yeah. And then obviously you had stuff like the actual subs benches where you had to balance the little figures sitting down on the clear little plastic subs bench with them all in their tracksuits.
Yeah.
Is there any other things that I've kind of missed in terms of accessories in Subbuteo that you can kind of show us? Because that's just as beautiful as the teams, in my opinion.
So this is a cool one. I don't know if you can make it out, but you had your ball boys, you had your photographers, police,
brilliant.
Yeah,
the horse, which is mad. That wouldn't happen now, would it? Like
no,
the horse.
No.
Around. You'd have things like the TV tower.
Oh wow, I loved that one,
which is pretty cool. What else we got? So these were interesting. So,
practically kissing my phone screen right now, looking at all of this. Like, it's just too much.
The thing, the beauty of Subbuteo is there's just obscure things. So you could even get like rosettes, like of the different clubs. I mean, that's a good for Palace fans, Crystal Palace.
Jonesy, look at that. Why didn't we have that last week, Jonesy?
Yes.
FA Cup final.
Oh.
Do you have the Queen Elizabeth one, Ross?
Yes, I do.
What?
So that's so this is quite sought after because you can get them, but she isn't holding the cup. And if I remember correctly, she's holding the cup in this one. I hope. Oh, yeah, she is. Yeah, yeah. See, this is the problem with collecting. You sometimes forget what you've got.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll try and set it up. But this is, if you're a kid back in the 70s and the FA Cup final was on, this is what you want. So then that's like the scene.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And then there she is.
Good old Liz.
Holding the cup.
Love that. Love that. Sorry, Jonesy, I cut you off.
No, I was going to say, what's your most favourite accessory?
My favourite one is I love the trophies. I absolutely love the trophies.
Yeah.
Like, you can just about see it in shot there. There's the World Cup.
I've been eyeing them up there.
Like, I love man. The goals are pretty cool. Like this Italian night, he released some good stuff out during that.
Yeah, can you just like talk to me about goals for a little bit, please? Because I was
okay there, Woody?
Yeah, honestly, I just want to talk about the goals for a minute because I was obsessed with the Subbuteo goals because obviously you could get the Italian 91s, which were because I grew up going to Elm Park, Reading as a kid, right? Yes. Now, I don't know if you can remember their goals at the ground. It was almost like it was, it had a blue almost kind of like hexagonal structure to the back of it, didn't it? Like it wasn't straight back. They almost had.
Was it metal? Did it have like a?
Yeah, they had like a little blue metal post in the back of the goal, which was almost like a kind of hexagonal structure.
Yeah.
And I can remember, like, because vivid memories of the ball hitting the back of the net but coming straight back out because it was so close to the ground. So things like that, and then I used to kind of try and replicate that in Subbuteo. So. Have you got any goals that you can show us of how the goals evolved over time with Subbuteo? Because I'm sure there are beautiful ones, aren't there?
Yeah, there's all different. I'm going to pull my back out at some point. If I pull my back
sorry, mate.
The show, guys. Sorry.
Our first injury on the pod.
So there's different variations. So you've got these are my favourites. Yeah, the Italian 91s.
Stop it.
I remember them. Yes.
Stop it now.
It's just the nets. They're so cool.
Beautiful, aren't they?
There's so much detail that went into it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Honestly, you couldn't. It's just thought that went into it. Like, nothing generic. And then you got ones like these, like your traditional school ones.
Look at the stanchion.
Yeah. So like having. And then these were like your generic basic ones, but still pretty cool, like red and blue. Red and blue nets.
I remember them.
And that says $3.99 on there, so that shows you how much they were at the time.
Daylight robbery, yeah. $3.99.
Or dotted about somewhere, but yeah, you're right. I mean, when like Euro '96, they'd have the theme nets. USA '94 would have the theme nets.
Did they ever do the Italian goals? You know, the little ones with like the pole at the back?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Because that would be insane if they did. Because I remember that like they had the box goals, the ones they use now. Like, do they have those, or is it still the classic structure?
I don't know if I don't know if this is. Yes, it is actually. So there's those ones.
That's it. That's like the Elm Park ones. I remember. Yeah.
Shape, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's how it looked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've done it justice there. It looks like half a bread bin, but like.
Main thing. But yeah, I mean, you could get absolute loads of variations, and that's the thing. That's what makes collecting Subbuteo fun.
Have you ever been to a tournament or anything like that, or you just purely collect it? Do you know they have tournaments? No,
I've been to the tournament. The one it was the World Cup last year. I don't know if you guys follow him, but Stuart Grant, the Subbuteo collector. If you don't follow him, he's a key reason why I got back into it. He's done so much good for the game in terms of collecting and endorsing it, and even on bargain hunts.
Wow,
is that right?
Really good guy. Really recommend checking him out because I think he's a large part of why Subbuteo started to get back into media and that kind of thing. So he's done a lot of that. I've been to collector fairs. I've done that. but I've never actually been on watch a tournament. But they get proper competitive. Really. If you see it online, like it's as if you are actually at a proper football game, and the emotion and the skill to Subbuteo. People think it's just flicking. It's not. You've literally got to set up your team in a way to obviously not telling people to suck eggs, but like to stop the ball going in. It's hard.
Yeah.
And actually scoring stuff. There's a skill to it. There is a proper skill.
So next, Jonesy, have you got any more questions before we go on to? Because what we were going to do, Ross, is we're going to tie in listeners' memories with ones for you, and then kind of see how that segues. Is that all right, mate?
Good, mate.
Go for it, Woody.
So we sent out a few messages over the last couple of days, Jonesy, didn't we? Just to kind of get some feedback as to what Subbuteo meant to some listeners. And the feedback, I have to say, is incredible. So Russell has put here that he used to polish the bottom of his Subbuteo players' bases with pledge so that he could get more pace on the... and
it does work.
It does. And I don't know why I didn't. That's like the essential Subbuteo starter kit, isn't it? If you see someone with like a fold-out suitcase, they've got like a bottle of pledge in there, like, stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He's also mentioned tango balls. Yes. Talk to me about tango balls, Ross.
God, I have got. So basically, the orange, orange tangos.
Yeah.
Which, oh God, they're somewhere.
Don't worry if you haven't got them to hand, but just in terms of the ball itself, though, I mean, that was an iconic Subbuteo ball, wasn't it? Yeah, they would come in like a little box of 3, wouldn't they?
Because was there a white, orange, and a yellow? Is it?
Yeah.
Looking at online now.
I'll carry on with the memories piece. So, Seamus, he's told us that the Subbuteo was the reason he found out that Santa didn't exist. So for any kids that are listening, Jonesy, obviously Zach included, he said that he was taken to a toy shop as a kid by his father, who basically walked him down the Subbuteo aisle. Seamus pointed out that there was a pack with Brazil and Italy on it as a set, and basically said that that's his favourite Subbuteo set that he wanted. His dad then picked it up, a man of few words, apparently, picked it up, said Merry Christmas, and took it to the front of the till. And that was his main Christmas present. And that was when he realised presents were from Mum and Dad.
Oh.
What a present to get, though.
Is that a good set?
I think any Subbuteo at Christmas is a good thing. That would same for the whole day. But it's a little bit bittersweet, isn't it? I guess finding out Santa doesn't exist. But
True, but you end up with Subbuteo, mate, so you swiftly move on, don't you?
Absolutely.
Basil and Fletch have basically wrote in and said that, and you've probably done this, because I know I've done it in some way, but they used to have annual summer tournaments between him and his mates.
Oh, yeah.
And Fletch has basically said tournaments between housing estates. Which they used to... I still laugh at this. They used to meet up and arrange home and away fixtures. And they arranged the dates.
That got quite tribal, didn't it? That must have been like pretty intense.
Yeah, it's like I could just imagine them meeting in a central place, going, right, so you're Arsenal, okay, so I'll play you on the 21st of August.
Be there, be square.
A lot of people have said spray moulding the actual cloth to wooden like sheets.
Yes. That is a thing. I've done that as well, actually. I did it just as not from a playing point of view, just because I wanted to do it. But yeah, you would literally spray it with this glue onto an MDF board, about 8 millimeters.
Yeah.
Sound like I know what I'm doing here. I don't. And then I pinned the green fence around with tacks, and actually stuck some of the stadium stuff around it as well. So yeah, if it's on an MDF board, the players will tell you it's a lot more smooth.
Do you have the setup, as in then like the stadium and all those bits? Do you have like a little mock match, or are you boxed?
No. I've got it under the bus shirt, so I can just see that. I can see it now. I've got the pitch on the MDF board. Around. Never actually set up the stadium. Now I'm got the loft. Maybe that's something to consider. It might get pretty dangerous doing that.
Yeah, it could. Jonesy, have you got any memories, mate?
I've got one from Dave Graham. He used to spend ages setting up with the stands, pretend to do the national anthems, but never actually play
it. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere. That's key.
Do you did the floodlights work, Ross?
Yes. So you would need batteries. They weren't great in terms of giving out lights. They're not.
Right. Okay.
But they give that vibe. You can tell you what. Grab them.
Is that the one a lot of people were saying that used to use their lamps?
Yeah, because that was one. Yeah, that Mitch wrote in, wasn't it? He said he did his bedroom lamp was the main light, and I just love the creativity that's attached to Subbuteo is what makes it amazing. I think, isn't it? It's like the extra bits.
These are my favourite headlights because I love Subbuteo sometimes more for the box art than the actual items. Because
agree, I can understand that.
Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich. You got Kenny Burns, Evans in the literally in the foreground. So and then you open this up, and
that's quite a big box.
It is
very big. And then it's all set up in there. Like you've got the whole stanchion, the lights, the walls. Now these
setup.
These don't work from what I can remember. I think I've tried testing them. But yeah, for toys, you think for toys, like quite a lot of detail.
I think we talked about the detail. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
choking hazards. You'd never get them through now, would you?
And that's the problem. If you trod on one of them, that's it. It's bust.
You have
to be super careful. But then there was that you might just see it in the background on the top shelf there.
Yeah.
It's got the old Munich Olympic Stadium, I should say.
Yeah,
they were like the ones from the 90s, but big, chunky battery packs at the bottom. To be fair, but they're really sought after as well, really collectible. But you're better off if you were wanting floodlights to play, you could get better sets from like Independence or non-Subbuteo, and stuff. But they look good.
They do look good. Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? Jonesy, you've got any more, mate? So I'm out of list of memories.
No, I think I'm out of memories, but I'm going to eBay after here.
So, Ross, quick fire questions then, mate. So, is there a team that is probably your? Because I know you said you've got the Euro '96 one. Is there a Premier League '90s team that is your favourite in terms of the kit painted on the Subbuteo team?
Oh, good question. Good question.
Because I can remember the Villa ones. I used to have the 93-94 Villa set, the burgundy and blue pinstripe. I used to love that one. That was a lovely kit.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Woody, that's up there with one of my faves.
Yeah.
Oh God, let's think. It's hard to pinpoint a specific one. A non-Premier League one, I'd say, is the 1990 Germany one. Love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you'll see from I ain't changed it in 5 years on my picture.
Your profile picture. Yeah.
That kit. Absolutely love it. And I think it looks even better in Subbuteo form.
Did they do home and away versions of the kits, or was it just that one kit that
they did
represent them?
I don't know about that Germany 1991. I don't think they did. If they have, I need to get it because that green shirt is just.
But what about Premier League though? Because obviously, like Sheffield Wednesday, did they ever do a black and yellow pinstripe one?
So, not every.
Please don't tell me you've got it.
No. Not every team has got away kits, but for instance, Newcastle 96-97, like the blue one.
Yeah.
Is that the denim looking one?
Yeah,
I had that. Incredible.
Because it's got the Newcastle brown ale. On the front.
Yeah.
And I've got actually. Now, Blackburn Rovers.
Well, we go, Jonesy.
We all love Blackburn Rovers. I do. I've got a soft spot for them because of Shearer and growing up during that period. They were an amazing team. But yeah, like their away kit from 95, 96.
Oh, it's my favourite away kit.
Is
that 3 of them?
It's not
black and red shorts one.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
no.
the one with remember the one with the Premier League?
Yes.
Champions.
The Lasso Batty fight kit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's nice.
So they started doing that more in the late 90s with the away kits.
Because I don't remember many Sheffield Wednesday away kits as a kid. I don't think there was. It was always just the blue and white home kit. I don't think there was an away kit that I can remember.
They might have just done it for a few select clubs at that time. But to be fair, I'm going to have a look online after
That's what I mean. You've literally like me and Jonesy, like we're going to be like engaged for the rest of the afternoon just looking at like eBay and so
that's it.
Where's your fascination with Alan Shearer come from then, mate?
Oh, God. I remember it vividly. Summer of 96, Euro 96. And I saw him score that header against Scotland. My dad going mad.
Yeah.
I was not understanding at the time. I was like, why is he so happy? And then obviously that tournament, I think for a lot of people growing up during that period, got people into football. It got me into football. Soon as I saw that, I was hooked.
Everyone still talks about the summer of 96, don't they?
Oh, incredible.
It's still my favourite summer, I think, ever.
Just incredible times.
Yeah.
And then I remember directly after that, my dad bought me the shirt, the home England shirt, got me a full case of football, my first full-size 5 case of football.
Yeah.
And then he joined Newcastle a few weeks later. And then that I was at war, like infatuated. And on top of that as well, my uncle is from Newcastle.
Right.
And I remember watching on Sky News his press conference when he's doing that in front of the Newcastle fans as well.
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for the Geordies and Newcastle as well because of that whole period. And it was obviously during the Keegan era. And then Villa, literally that first home game of the 96-97 season, went to see Villa against Blackburn Rovers. God, you can't make it up. Shearer's just Gareth Southgate scores the winner, having missed the penalty at Euro 96.
Oh, yeah.
Got an unbelievable ovation, and that was it. I was football for life and Villa for life then.
Nice.
So did he start the season with Blackburn then?
No. So he left in the July.
Ah, right. Of the 96-97 season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we signed in the summer of 96, and then as we went into August 96, going into 97.
Wow.
That short period in 96, some of my first football memories and biggest football memories, to be fair.
Yeah, that's incredible, mate. No.
He's just, absolutely loved the bloke. I think he was a key reason. I think for many people growing up during that, he was the poster boy for all of us, I think.
Jonesy, have you got any questions, Subbuteo, or anything?
No, I think we've covered it. Yeah, far out. As I said, amazing collection, mate. And thank you so much for sharing it.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Honestly, you forget what you've got in the collection, and then you forget when you talk. I mean, that hour also we've been talking absolutely flew by.
I've loved every second of it, Ross. Honestly, I have huge admiration for anyone that does collecting for a hobby, and for someone that to have as much passion as you do with Subbuteo, complete hats off, because it's a wonderful pastime for me as a kid. Even for now, just looking at the box, it only triggers that tiny thing of either looking at a box or something, a single figure, you're back in the 90s again,
100%.
and you're ironing your pitch on your mum's carpet, and it's unbelievable. So yeah, I've truly loved this episode. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Definitely, and for your kit collection as well. You're gonna have to come back on another time to go for your kits.
Yeah, I think we will need you back, Ross, if you're all right with that, mate, because I think there's more we need to uncover.
My shirt collection's not as extensive as your guys, because you lads are in a different parallel universe with your shirts.
This is Premier League, mate. Don't you worry. Premier League.
There's a few knocking around. But yeah, absolutely more than happy to come back on the show.
Good man. So if any listeners or viewers want to find you on any platform, Ross, where can they find you, mate?
It is literally Subbuteo Brummie. That will be on Instagram, on Twitter, but I'm primarily just active on Instagram. I think.
Instagram.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Showcasing collections and
yeah,
connecting with fellow collectors like yourselves. It's Twitter's just gone a bit
yeah.
It's a bit too volatile.
Yeah,
like, what it was.
Stay up there, don't we?
Yeah. Instagram all the way, lads.
Instagram. Jonesy, what about you, mate?
Football.jonesy. Where about you, Woody? Where are you?
Woody W 1988. I must say,
you on TikTok yet?
not yet. Still rehearsing my dance moves. So give me some time. But yeah, Jonesy, your videos have stepped up a gear, haven't they, mate? Talk to the listeners about your Premier League videos you've done.
Mate, I just keep finding gold. Like literally, I'll just keep finding all these adverts. I'm advert crazy,
but there's one specific video though that is literally like finding oil, right? That you've struck oil with this one. What video was it? Can you tell the listeners?
Which one's that one? Is that the Tim Flowers?
Tim Flowers. Yeah. Look at you playing it down. Which one's that, Woody? Oh, I can't recall.
The bottle one.
Yes, I saw that. Fantastic.
What figure are we on now?
146,000 views on that one. Jeez.
Blimmin' heck. Who'd have thought Tim Flowers would be delivering you glory, Jonesy?
Yeah. But yeah, and follow us on our obviously the pod Insta as well. What's the address, Woody?
The address is That 90s Premier League Podcast. Our DMs are always open if you want to either come on the show for specifically time added on, or any feedback in terms of anything you want us to feature or any memories you want to send in for episodes. But we would also appreciate reviews on the platforms, Jonesy, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. 5-star reviews. Write some nice comments. Just share the pod as well. I think we're going to do a lot more with the Insta, aren't we, mate?
Yeah. We've got some work to do.
Yeah. Just keep sharing the pod. It just helps us just grow the pod and get some more listeners.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's it.
Ross, you've been an absolute diamond, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed having you on and love seeing the collection.
Yes,
hopefully we'll get you on again very soon. I suppose we'll give you the pleasure, mate, of saying cheerio to our listeners today.
I think hopefully people have not been too bored of my very Brummie accent. Brummie I sound sometimes, so hopefully your listeners are not put off. But no, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me on. I think what you guys are doing, it's fantastic. It's just great to see when you go on Instagram every day and you see a memory like we're saying with Jones and Flowers.
Thanks,
you remember, it just brings it all back. And we're biased, but the 90s were the decade. It's just the best.
Oh, get that as a sound bite, Jonesy.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said.
Well said.
Excellent. All right.
Thank you ever so much, guys.
Take care.
Speak to you later.